Hello, and welcome back to the English Leaf Podcast. I am your host, and I am so happy you are here today. We are going to practice your English listening skills. Today, I have a story to tell you. It is a story about travel. However, it is not a happy story. It is a story about a bad day at a hotel. We all love to travel to new places. We love to see new cities and eat new food, but sometimes travel can be difficult. Sometimes things go very wrong. Last summer, I decided to visit a beautiful city near the beach. I booked a hotel room online. The pictures of the hotel looked amazing. I was very excited to go. I arrived at the city in the afternoon. The sun was shining and the weather was hot. I took a taxi to the hotel. I wanted to relax in my room. When I walked into the hotel lobby, it was very dark. The lights were not working well. There was a strange smell in the air. It smelled like old wet socks. I walked to the reception desk to check in. The person at the desk did not smile. He looked very tired and angry. I said hello, but he did not answer. I gave him my name and my credit card. He typed on his computer for a long time. He did not speak to me. I waited for 10 minutes standing there. Finally, he gave me a key. He said my room was on the 3rd floor. He did not tell me where the elevator was. I had to find it by myself. The elevator was very small and old. It made a loud noise when it moved up. I was a little scared. I hoped the elevator would not stop between the floors. I found my room number and opened the door. I expected a clean and beautiful room, but when I turned on the light, I was very shocked by what I saw. The room was very small and dirty. The bed sheets were not white. They were gray and stained. There was dust on the table and trash on the floor. I walked into the bathroom to wash my hands. There were no towels in the bathroom. There was no soap. The water from the tap was cold and looked brown. Suddenly, I heard a loud noise. The people in the room next to me were shouting. The walls were very thin. I could hear every word they said very clearly. I tried to close the window to stop the noise from the street, but the window was broken. It would not close. The noise from the cars was very loud. I decided to call the reception desk. I picked up the phone in the room. I waited for someone to answer. The phone rang for 5 minutes, but nobody answered. I was very frustrated and tired. I grabbed my suitcase and went back to the elevator. I went down to the lobby to speak to the man at the desk. The man at the desk was eating a sandwich. He looked at me with annoyance. I told him that my room was dirty and the window was broken. He told me that the hotel was full. He said there were no other rooms available. He told me I had to stay in that room or leave the hotel. I did not know what to do. It was late at night. I was in a strange city. I felt very sad and angry about my bad luck. I stood at the front desk and took a deep breath. I knew I had to be calm. Getting angry would not help me. I asked to speak to the manager. The man at the desk sighed loudly. He picked up the phone and called someone. He said the manager would come in 5 minutes. I sat on a chair waiting. 10 minutes later, a woman walked out of the office. She was the manager. She looked much friendlier than the man. She asked me what the problem was with the room. I explained everything to her slowly. I told her about the dirty sheets and the broken window. I told her about the brown water and the loud noise next door. She apologized to me immediately. She said that this was not acceptable. She checked her computer and found a different room. It was a larger room on the top floor. I was very relieved. She gave me the new key and carried my bag to the elevator. She was very kind and helpful. I felt much better about the situation. We went to the new room together. She opened the door and turned on the lights. This room was perfect. It was clean, bright, and smelled like fresh flowers. I thanked the manager for her help. She told me that breakfast would be free the next morning. This was a nice gift to say sorry for the trouble. I closed the door and locked it. I finally felt safe and relaxed. I took a hot shower and put on my pajamas. I was ready to sleep. I laid down on the soft bed. It was very comfortable. The room was quiet because it was high up. I could not hear the cars on the street anymore. I thought about my day. It started badly, but it ended well. I learned that it is important to speak up when you have a problem. If I stayed in the first room, I would have been miserable. Because I complained politely, I got a better room. It is always good to ask for what you need. The next morning, I went downstairs for breakfast. The food was delicious. There were eggs, fruit, and coffee. I ate a lot because I was very hungry. I saw the man from the reception desk again. He did not look at me. I think he felt embarrassed. I just smiled and enjoyed my morning coffee. Travel can teach us patience. Sometimes things go wrong, but there is usually a solution. We just need to stay calm and talk to the right people. I hope you enjoyed this story about my hotel experience. Have you ever had a bad experience at a hotel? I would love to hear your story in the comments. Tell me what happened to you. Did you change rooms? Did you leave the hotel? Writing your story is great practice for your English writing skills. Thank you for listening to the English Leap podcast today. Remember to listen to this episode a few times. This will help you remember the new words. If you liked this episode, please subscribe to our channel. We have many more stories and lessons coming soon. Your support helps us create more videos for you. I will see you in the next episode. Keep practicing your English every day. Have a wonderful week and safe travels wherever you go. Goodbye for now.